Welcome to the EQ Video Tip. I'm your host, Eric Forsetter. As always, it's great to have you back for another terrific show. Before we get into this week's tips, let's review the goals of EQ Video Tip. Welcome back. This week's tip comes to us from Cameron Walker, who writes about how to get things done when you just don't want to do anything. And let's face it, we've all been there before. We really want to motivate, get ourselves to the gym, or write that essay, or write that novel that we've talked about, but we just procrastinate. There's something in us that we just don't have that motivation or that energy or that drive to get things done. And it's common. It's something that everyone goes through. So how do you get past that point? How do you get out of that little slump? It might be, as this author said, there's no reservations required at the pool, yet he never went to the pool this summer, even though COVID in his mind was over. So what do we have to do to get to that next step, and how do we push through that? Well, let's take a look at a few motivational tactics that this author thinks is the right way and might give us some fuel to move ourselves forward and push through when we really just don't want to get anything done. Tip number 1. Find some tiny and well-timed treats. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean something you eat like an ice cream or something like that, but it is something that is a reward for what you are doing. As an example, this author really wanted to work out, and as a motivation, what he did was say, okay, if I'm going to work out, I'm also going to watch this film on Netflix. And that motivation to not only see the film or the short series that he was watching also provided them with a way to enjoy the workout and a motivating factor at the end of the day. So think about a tiny treat that would make you really excited about it. It could be something that, you want to have a hot chocolate every time you write 2 pages of your book. Whatever it might be, figure out something that's going to give you a reward for the item that you've been putting off. Tip number 2, find your why and also go far together. And it's interesting because I think these come from Angela Duckworth's book, Grit. And finding your why is finding that purpose. Why are we doing this? What does it mean to you? And really using that to energize you. At the same time, going far together is finding that connection with other people, whether it's your friends or your family or your coworkers. But if you're stuck in a rut at work, reach out to a coworker, start talking to them, build that bond, build that energy so that all of you know that we're thinking together and growing together and jump-starting and kick-starting what we really need to do in accomplishing whatever task it is that's out there. If it's not a work-related thing, reach out to a family member, a friend, someone who's going to galvanize you and give you that energy you need to get things going. And again, talk to them about what you're putting off. Maybe that will help push that forward, and talk to them about your why. Because when you start thinking about your why more and you have that social connection, you're going to have the determination to start motivating and do that task. Our next tip, have some self-compassion. And some people think like if you have self-compassion, you're going to be soft on yourself and it's going to just let everything fizzle so you really can't work anymore. But that's not the case. You actually have to realize what is your body seeking, what is your mind seeking, what are you really not able to accomplish because something is holding you back, and figure that out. Maybe it's, hey, you need more sleep. Maybe it's you need a little more exercise. Maybe you need a friend to help motivate you or a family member. Whatever it is, have that self-compassion to look within and understand what's going on in your mind that is preventing you from doing that task that you want to do or having that fun with an exercise or whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. So take a moment, have some self-compassion, and realize what's best for you, and then work towards that goal, and then hopefully involve someone else to help you get those needs that you need to accomplish your goal. Our last tip, you need to realize you're not alone out there. We're all going through tough times. If you walk out in the morning and you just see people walking around, looking at their phones, walking their dogs, going through things, you realize that there's a myriad of things that they're going through on a daily basis just like you. They may not tell you about all the problems and challenges and motivational things that they need, but everybody goes through challenges in their life. And when you realize that they all are going through the same struggle and battle that we do day to day, it'll help you in understanding that people are there for you. People can help you out, and in the long run, putting yourself in a place where you can succeed and thinking about ways that you can have self-compassion will ultimately help you out, and that these people around you also want to help in the long term, whether it's your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers. Think about it in that term, and that will help you in terms of getting that motivation that you need to complete whatever task it is you're looking for. That concludes this week's EQ video tip. Hopefully you enjoyed these tips. Here's a quick recap of what we went through and some ideas that may help you out when you can't get motivated and complete the task that you're looking to do. So that concludes our EQ video tip for today. Try incorporating some of these tips into your daily routine. But remember, use what works best for you and personalize it for yourself. Thank you always to our great research team for providing us with some great tips today. As always on EQ Video Tip, we want to end with gratitude. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Here are some resources that you can use if you want more information on EQ going forward. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you.